I'm Sabjo Hell. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today we are talking about the Insta360 GO 3S. This little baby here. So I am here in Wellington, New Zealand. I released this video, let me see, 7.5 hours ago. Yeah, 7.5 hours ago is when this was launched. I've been off with flu all week. You may still be able to hear my voice is a little bit hoarse. I worked for 16 hours to get this video out yesterday, and I'm going to do this live stream, and then I'm going to go back to bed because I don't feel so great. I don't want to kind of like relapse. I am over the actual flu, but I'm just spending that time kind of recovering now. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this conversation. If you have any questions, please be sure to drop them into the comments now. If you have any questions about what I think about this camera, should you upgrade from a Go 3 or a Go 2 if you already have one, or maybe if you've never bought an Insta360 GO camera. Just for the background, I have been using the Insta360 GO series of cameras right from the very beginning. It came out in the middle of 2019. So I bought that, my own money, then got the Go 2, then got the Go 3, and I made a ton of videos about all of these cameras. I love these cameras. I think they're great. And I think that this is a worthy upgrade. And the really good news is that Insta360 have learned, and you can now just upgrade the camera unit because it fits the action pod, it fits the hat clip, it fits all kinds of accessories that rely upon the length and the width dimensions of the Go 3 camera units. That's really, really cool. I'll come on to that as I answer some more comments and questions. So let me know who you are. Let me know where you are right now. And I'm going to be here for, I don't know, however long it takes. Probably I'm aiming for about an hour. If there's tons of questions and we've got a really good conversation going, then I may even go a bit longer. All right, let's have a look and see what sort of questions and comments we've got here so far. GMG3 Precision is saying hello from Texas. Hello from Texas. This is Wellington, New Zealand. What is the weather like over there? And what is the time over there at the moment? Let me know. I guess it's just kind of like afternoon, mid-afternoon there for you now in Texas. Let me know, GM3 Precision. And Steen Hoffman Nitschke from Copenhagen in Denmark. Welcome, welcome. Glad to have you here. It must be what, nearly, coming up to 11 p.m. now on the 13th of June for you in Copenhagen. Just a wonderful city. I mean, it's a long time since I was there. I'm just turned 55 now. I think I was there when I was 19. So that's quite a long time since the last time I was in Copenhagen. I was interrailing at the time, and I was camping, I remember, just outside of Copenhagen. I actually had a wonderful time. It was a wonderful city. Love to go back. Close. I'm guessing, I'm thinking of about your pronunciation of your name. I'm sorry if I wasn't close enough. Apologies. But you have just ordered one today. You got the old clamshell one. A Go 2, or did you order a Go 2 today? I'm not sure if they're still selling the Go 2. Are they still selling the Go 2? Not really sure. But if you have got the Go 2 and you're now getting the Go 3S, yeah, you know, there are some design changes there. You've got the big screen and everything. Some people are worried about that. And I really like the clamshell design of the Go 2. I won't lie. And I like the little built-in tripod and everything. But I think the Go 3S is a different kind of a camera. And I hope you're going to enjoy it. Yeah. Hi, Nabila. Lovely to see you. Nabila is a channel member. If you're interested in supporting my channel at all, she was actually the first channel member of my channel. So hi there. Really good to see you. I hope you're a little bit more encouraged now that you've seen the Go 3S video and the fact that you can just upgrade the camera unit and you'll see the sorts of things that you will be able to do with it in the new features compared to the Go 3. But don't get me wrong, the Go 3, it's still like a really, really good camera. And I'm going to do a video coming up in the next couple of weeks on, I guess what I've titled my video as is like, is it too good? Is the 4K too good? I guess my biggest concern about shooting 4K all the time with the Go 3S is that it's going to fill up your 64 gigabyte if you buy that one, which I will not recommend anybody buys a 64 gig Go 3S. So if you have ordered one and you can change it, because I do think you will appreciate getting the 128 gigabyte. I think that it's going to fill up quickly. And so I think you need to be really strategic. And I do talk about that at the end of my video, which came out yesterday. So be really strategic about when and why you're using 4K, because for a lot of the time, 2K is going to be good enough, 2.7K. And 2.7K now, which I didn't talk about in the video, which I will talk about in another video, now has 50 frames per second. And I love that. I love the fact that you can get that kind of like slow motion shooting in 2.7K and slow it down on your timeline if you're making a video like that. So that's really cool. Okay, 3:38 p.m. in Texas, which is what I kind of like guessed it was. Thank you, Steen. Thank you. And you have the new one. Okay, great. That's really, really cool. I guess you would talk about close about my time estimates. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're curious to see if the Go 3 prices will come down, especially in the used market. Yeah, I'm not really sure. It's going to be interesting, isn't it? Because people can't upgrade just the camera unit. So I don't know whether they will or not. I think maybe Go 3 users will be like, well, maybe I can have like a 2-camera kind of like setup. I can just kind of like manually set my Go 3 and just trigger using the button on the camera, and then I can use the action pod to control the Go 3S because that's what it's paired with at that time. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think I'm going to do some experimenting to see whether I can use like a 2 or multicam setup like that. But then how do I get the footage off that camera as well, unless I have to kind of like repair? So can you have it like paired with like multiple camera units at the same time? And I think that will kind of like determine a lot about what happens to Go 3 prices in the used market. But yeah, it's a good question. I'm curious to see what will happen as well. So, couple more, couple more here. Angel, Nabila, I'm actually really intrigued with the new accessory for the file download to the SD card. Okay, so if people don't know what Nabila's talking about here, is that there is going to be a new quick reader. So you're going to be able to kind of like get the camera unit and attach it to this kind of like little kind of like dongly thing, and then slot it into your phone. So you're not going to need to do the wireless transfer from your action pod to your phone in order to get your footage off the device. If you're shooting in free frame, or if you're trying to edit a time lapse or anything like that, or even if you're shooting straight video, it's going to make everything a lot simpler. So there's no SD card. It's going to read the built-in memory that's already, and it's in the camera unit, not in the action pod. It's the same with the Go 3 as well. The built-in memory is in the camera unit, not the action pod. So I don't know whether the Go 3S quick reader will also work with the Go 3. Now, I have one of these arriving next week, and I'm going to prioritize that video. So be sure to stay tuned at the end of next week, where I'm going to test the quick reader, and I'm going to see whether that works with the Go 3 or not. Because if that works with the Go 3 as well, I think people are going to be really pleased. If not, I still think, it's a great reason to get the Go 3S, even if you're just going to get the camera unit and the quick reader, because that's going to change my workflow. It's also going to probably change how I film as well, because part of the issue was it was too cumbersome a workflow with the wireless transfer. But if I can get a quick wire transfer now and edit on the fly and export into my camera album, then yeah, that's going to be really, really cool for me. So yeah, I'm wondering what you think about that as well, Nabila. Got some more comments. Nabila, you can sell me one of mine. I've already got 3 Go 3 units. I don't need any more. Actually, is it 4? Oh no. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think I've got 3. Yeah, 3 Go 3 units. Yeah, I don't need any more. I've got plenty. Okay, Avila, I'm going to call you out here. I don't think you've watched my video, eh? Because that's the first thing I say in my video. So I would encourage you, go and watch my video that came out 7.5 hours ago, because I reckon a lot of what you're interested in is going to be in there. Because yes, interval shooting is back, and I show you one. I'll show you how to do it. Well, give you a quick glimpse of how to do it, because actually how to do it and my tips on how to do it is going to come out early next week. I'm making that video. I'm too tired now. I'm going to go to bed after this, because I was up for 16 hours yesterday making that video, and I'm just recovering from flu if you missed the beginning. So yeah, interval shooting is back. Watch the video. I've done a hand edit, and I've put a link in the video description for you to see a Facebook reel, what that looks like. And I'm going to put up more examples over the next week. So make sure you follow my Facebook page, the Tech Packer, because I don't want to post them on YouTube because my YouTube is monetized, and often the music that Insta360 uses somehow, I don't know why, triggers kind of like problems with monetization. So I didn't want to embed it in the middle of a long form video and then ruins my monetization for the whole video. So yeah, that's why it's on a Facebook reel, and I will keep out those auto edits. I will keep out that music off my main channel. And it does auto edit to the beat. I don't think it does a great job of auto editing to the beat, but it's kind of okay. I think I do a better job, and I did it manually and it didn't take that long. Maybe I'll show you how to do that another day. If you're interested, let me know. Anyway, there you go. That's interval shooting. Da, 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 da. Yes. Okay, good. Glad you you get me about. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the Go 3 used market goes. Okay, awesome. It works with both. Well, I think the quick reader is going to be, it's a no-brainer. You know what, if you go back into my kind of video catalog, you don't have to do this, but if you're interested and you're geeky about it, it's one of the things I recommended Insta360 do, was like, they really, really need to bring out a quick reader, some kind of contraption device that enables people to get a wired connection really quickly and just kind of skip all this wired connection stuff. Because I hate having to kind of like lose my Wi-Fi connection because my Wi-Fi connection is now hooked to my camera, and then I'm chewing through my mobile data. Particularly if I'm out and about, or for some reason the Insta360 app is checking with, I don't know what it's doing, but it seems to burn through a lot of data. I don't like that. I much prefer having a wired connection. So yeah, I'm super pleased with that, and I'm glad it's coming next week. I'm going to be testing that, and I will be using it. You know, one of the things I didn't say, and I kind of was like thinking about how am I going to kind of frame my video about the Go 3, but I think this is now, I mean, it was pretty vital for me before, but this now becomes my everyday carry video camera. I mean, this now supersedes my phone. And I was kind of like equal between the Go 3 and my phone because I can put other stuff on my phone. But this is and when I say everyday carry camera, video camera, you could just take it out and start filming immediately. And I'm going to talk about that with interval video next week, because I think this is, for people who are maybe a little bit shy about vlogging, I think it's a really good way to kind of force you into the moment and to kind of like get you up to speed and get you practicing pretty quickly. So we'll talk about that next week, about for beginning vloggers, why I think interval video is really cool. Vanessa, nice to see you again. Thank you for coming back. Lovely to see you. And I saw you a little bit kind of like gutted about the Go 3S coming out, but you're a little bit heartened by watching my video. And your question is, are they discontinuing the Go 3? I have the Go 3 in black, 128 gigabytes, love it, but do wish it was 4K. Yeah, I hear you. Personally, I'm not sure how much I will film in 4K with it, because I think, as you say it in your comment, it means that it's gonna be a lot more messing around with files and managing with that. But the quick reader could change that for me. If the quick reader enables me to get 4K files off and then onto a hard drive really, really quickly, then I will be shooting 4K most of the time. If I'm shooting for socials, like for reels and stuff like that, I'll probably be shooting in 2.7K. If I'm not really sure, I don't know what I'm going to do in the future. It's interesting. I've got to think about my strategy, because free frame now comes into the equation again. Because when I was shooting a straight video, it's all about just how do I get this stuff quickly off my go. But now, if I've got a quick reader, then free frame gives me flexibility. Free frame 2.7K, 50 frames per second gives me a lot of flexibility, particularly if I'm thinking about doing interval video and then stitching that together to form social videos edited to the beat. I mean, that could be like really compelling for me. I'm going to have to watch this video back because I'm saying stuff which I haven't planned to say. But yeah, I think that's cool. Are they going to discontinue the Go 3? Not sure. I'm not sure if they will. They might do. I've noticed it's been on sale a bit recently. They may have some stock that they need to kind of like keep going with. So I can imagine that prices might go down a bit. Then has a knock-on effect for GMG3 Precision in terms of the used market. So yeah, if Insta360 dropped the price of the Go 3, then yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's quite a big user base, I think, of Go 3 people who are going to be upgrading to the camera unit. So it will be interesting to see how all of this pans out. I don't think anybody really knows. We'll see. Thank you for the question, though. N. What is the best way to clip on your head for the first person views? Okay. So I experiment a little bit with this, and I sometimes change it a little bit for first person views. The key thing is, let me just get the clip. So the key thing is, I have it slightly angled down like that. Okay, because it's quite a wide field of view, and often if you've got it like this, what you think you're aiming at, you're kind of like missing the bottom edge of it. So I have it angled like that, and sometimes even a bit further down to make sure the stuff that I see in my eye line is being captured. Okay, so I have that hat clip on my baseball cap, kind of like fixed like that. So nice, actually, that way. Like that. Sometimes if I want a foot shot or what my hands are doing, then I might even set it like that for a little while and then back up to here. So that's what I do. I have it slightly angled down, sometimes a little bit more than others. So I hopefully, and I have it backwards on my baseball cap. If you watch my vlogs that I did with the Go 3 in Japan, you'll see that I'm walking around with the baseball cap on backwards, like a lot of the time with that hat clip just there. So what I tend to use is a baseball cap that doesn't have the kind of like the plastic clips at the back, but it has more kind of like an elastic, and so it's unbroken at the back. And that's what I tend to find works best, because sometimes you know, clips and plastic bits and straps get in the way and it just feels uncomfortable, whereas this is the most comfortable way of wearing it. It's got kind of like a little bit of a comfortable comfort fit here on the back of the hat clip anyway. So yeah, I hope that helps you think about. Oh my god, there's quite a few comments here. Let me get that. For the guy that was curious about the price, I had a look on the Insta360 GO Insta360 website just before now, and I couldn't quite find where the Go 3S unit was being sold by itself. I've been reassured that it is there, and I've seen some comments saying that it is there. Couldn't quite find it myself before I started, but yeah, it's there. A Villa loved the original Go for that and hated it as much as you did when they took it away. Oh my gosh, I was so pleased when they brought it back. I wonder if it's just a software thing. I wonder if it will come to the Go 3 eventually. Like they have done with a few other features that they rolled out to new cameras, and then they rolled it out to kind of like the older versions a bit later on. I wonder. We'll see. I can't see why it wouldn't be. I mean, I swear it's a software thing. What they don't have, which I have fed back to Insta360 about, and I hope it's going to come in a firmware update, and I'll talk about this more in my video next week, is that they don't have a total recording length or time. It might, so you can set it going and say, hey, I want like 15-second clips, 1 minute apart, go. But you have to manually stop it. So it's like, you might want to say, collect like 15 clips. I definitely wouldn't collect more than 20 clips. It'll just be overwhelming. I normally aim for like 15 to 20 clips, 15, sometimes even only 12. Like I did just 12 for the video that I put in the middle of my video that I put out yesterday. But the original Go used to have a total recording length. It'll be like, and so yeah, 15-second clips, 1 minute apart, do it for an hour, go. And then it will just switch itself off after an hour of running those cycles. This doesn't have that yet. I'm hoping, and my feedback to them as a very keen, knowledgeable interval video, which still gets watch time for the original Go, I said, you need to bring this back. And they were like, well, tell us some use cases where it might be useful. And so I told them, and they were like, okay, we'll think about it. So yeah, they're thinking about it. GMG3 Precision. I have the Ace Pro and the X4. Do you think the Go 3 would be a good addition, or go with the regular Go 3? Okay. So if you already have a Go 3 and you already have an Ace Pro and you already have an X4, it all depends upon how you film. Okay, so I used, when I was in Japan, the Go 3 way more than I thought I was going to, just because it's so convenient. But if you're already using your Go 3, if you already have a Go 3 and you're not using it that much, I don't think the Go 3S is necessarily going to make you use it more. I think if you are a Go 3 user and you really enjoy using it, I think you're going to like it, use it even more, just because of the features it's got with it. I really like the dynamic time lapse that you get from the Ace Pro. I do like 4K. One of the things I kind of didn't emphasize enough was that I think one of the reasons why I will also probably consider using 2.7K still, particularly if I'm away for a few days and maybe I don't have a way of offloading my device, my footage, sorry, is that the bitrate capture has gone up. It's gone up from 80 megabits per second for the Go 3 to 120 megabits per second on the Go 3S, and that's like a 50% rise, and that in itself may make a big difference for you. 4K and that may make a big difference for you. So yeah, it all depends on how much you're using a Go 3 style camera, and how much you think you want to be shooting in 4K, and how you're going to manage that. I was actually thinking to get the Ace Pro, but I guess I'll get the Go 3S instead. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you want like a proper action camera, which is kind of like a little bit more robust and is going to take knocks and things like that a little bit easier, deal with dirt and stuff like that, then yeah. If you want the screen as well, if you're filming underwater, then yeah, the Ace Pro. But if you want a great all-round camera, which is going to deal okay with kind of light rain if it's in the action pod, and deal with 10 meters of water immersion with the 3S unit alone, then personally, I'd be looking at the Go 3S. And particularly if you already have a Go 3 and you just want to kind of like upgrade the camera unit, that's what I'd be thinking about. Hey, Richard. Had the Go 2, loved it, but just stopped working. Over it in a rainy UK, this camera looks interesting. Hope you're feeling better soon. Thank you, Richard. Appreciate that. Yeah, it is rainy in the UK. I've been talking to friends about it. We've just been kind of like listening and watching, listening to the cricket together for the Cricket World Cup. And I just kind of switched off and came over here. Sad about your Go 2. Do you think the battery died? Because it's been a while now, eh? That's quite an old little unit. It's a small camera. Maybe it just didn't have enough boot power for the battery anymore. But thanks for coming today, and appreciate you commenting. It means a lot. Oh, I've got lots and lots of comments. We've got lots and lots of people. So let's keep going. Vanessa, again, I like that new feature, free frame without worrying about lower quality. Yeah, I think it's great. And free frame, I didn't use much with the Go 3 with the wireless connection, but now, maybe thinking about using free frame a little bit more, because I think the editing workflow is just going to be so much quicker. The free frame, oh, that's got really big. The free frame mode is not actually the same as in the Go 3. The vertical mode is kind of cropped. Yeah, it depends upon I think it also depends upon which view you're using as well. I know that Mega View, if you watch my video from yesterday, there's this new thing called Tilt Fix. I think there is some kind of like different cropping going on, and you probably need to investigate a little bit in terms of how that's going to affect how you're filming. Did you see that in somebody else's other video, Nabila? Because I didn't test free frame too much here. Like I said, it was like a really big job to try and get this together yesterday. So there's a lot more detailed testing that I need to do, but that's an interesting point. So I will investigate that. Thank you. Hi again, GMG3 position. Since this will be my first experience with a small camera, how will the Go 3S perform in low light? My Ace Pro is fantastic in low light. Yes, it is fantastic in low light. The Go 3 has the same sensor, as far as I know, as the Go 3S. The lens is slightly different. That's what I've been told. The Go 3S is okay in low light. I didn't have a chance to kind of like do significant testing, but it's okay. I do remember being like quite shocked at how good my Go 2 was when the original Go was. I took it to this kind of like art gallery at Tate Modern in London, and it came out with like surprisingly good footage when I was there. So I think it actually outperforms a lot of what you might expect. But to be honest, I don't think it's probably as good as even kind of modern cell phones these days. I don't think low light performance is a strength of the Go series of cameras. It will do an okay job. But if low light is really kind of like a big part, if you're out filming at night, if you're in bars, if you kind of like filming, like your entire day right to the end, it depends on how much emphasis you want to put on that kind of like low light. Because yeah, the Ace Pro is a big sensor, that Leica lens as well. It does really well in low light, so it's not going to outperform that. I will have a video coming out, I guess, in the next couple of weeks showing a little bit more about low light, but I don't have anything more that I can tell you about that. I was going to try and film out this morning, but to be honest, it was miserable out there today in Wellington, and it was pretty dark. I was going to try and film kind of like a dawn as I was walking the dog, but it was just overcast, grey, and raining down on us. So yeah, no, I didn't manage to get that shot. Hi, Stefan. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining us again here today. Let us know where you are and all the rest of it. Krebs Cycle, nice to see you. I am in the US and I see the Go 3S listed for $399. Yeah, I think that is the pricing for the Go 3S. Lots. 16 more comments here. I thought I might run out of comments and have to go to like the comments that are on my initial video, but yeah, that's not going to happen, is it? I mean, we're half an hour into this already and we've got like tons. Let me just adjust a couple of things here. If you are new here, I do have a channel membership. You can super chat, all of those sorts of things. That if this has been useful for you, if my videos in the past have been useful for you, I'd love it for you to show your appreciation by joining my channel membership. It's really low price, the entry level of it. I think it's like $3-4, something like that. Price of a cup of coffee a month or something like that. It's not much. And thank you for being here today. It means a lot. Next. Sorry for so many questions. Will the Go 3 interface with the preview remote and or the Yeah, as far as I know, the Go 3S will interface with the Action Pod remote. No problem. You should just be able to pair that up. It just fits in nicely. It's a completely same dimensions as far as like how it fits into that cavity, and all the works with the Insta360 app. I had a kind of pre-launch firmware, so I'll be updating my firmware later on today to make sure it's the same as everybody else's. I'm not sure how different it was, probably not that much, but there might have been a few sort of like under the hood bells and whistle changes since it came out, but as far as I know, it's just going to work with the latest app iteration when it comes out, which is probably already out. Vanessa, I like to run with the camera, but find wearing the pendant to be awkward for a woman. Awkward for me too, with a busty figure. The camera never laid straight, and I don't like wearing it on my head. Bought an alternate pendant. Yeah, so the interesting thing with this, if I just get the pendant, is that now that they've changed it, Vanessa, you probably have watched my video, is that instead of kind of having that awkward kind of like bump thing that kind of like changed the angle, which kind of like didn't really work, and particularly for women didn't work, they now have a magnetic hat clip, and believe me, it's strong. It's a pretty strong connection to get it off. So the nice thing about having the hat clip, it will still bump up and down. You're not going to be able to avoid that, but in terms of angle, you have a lot more choices now in terms of angle and how you're going to set that up. So that is really cool. I really, really like that. I thought it was a really nice design innovation, but that's why I tend to wear the hat clip when I'm running, because it does bump up and down. I guess if I was kind of like ultra running again or training, I would use the magnetic kind of like clip accessory that was built for kind of like the Ace Pro. I might have that on my strap, and I might have the Go 3 on the back of a little selfie stick and have the screen sort of sticking out here so I could see what's kind of like filming. And I'd have that on interval for a little while. And then maybe manually sort of like film as well. And then I'm pretty sure you can then resume video uh, interval video cycles once you finish your manual kind of override of capturing. I'll tell you more about that next week. But yes, I totally hear you there. The unit is oh, hang on a second, Stefan. The unit is only £200 in the UK. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Because that's kind of like, I think it's probably going to be like about half the price of buying the whole kit, which for a whole new upgraded camera unit with some significant changes, I think it's pretty good. Well, I think it's competitive. Let's say that. The Acroterm magnetic neck pendant for 1999. It's magnetic and the angle is adjustable. Nice. I'll have to look that one up and see what it's like. Thank you for the tip, everybody. Hope you're taking note. The Acroter magnetic neck pendant. If you've probably seen it in the chat already, but yeah, I'm just bringing these all on screen. Okay, you don't have a Go 3. All right. So I guess, yeah, what I said kind of like still kind of like holds. It really does depend upon how much low light shooting you're wanting to do. The thing about the Ace Pro, which I learned as I used it more and more, is that the minimum focus distance does affect vlogging. So, and I never had that issue with the Go 3, and I didn't have that issue yesterday when I was using it. I didn't have a problem with like minimum focus getting in the way of like usual vlogging behavior. And the mics, I know you don't get external mics, and that's a deal breaker for many people. But again, if you watch my Tokyo vlogs, I think people were surprised at how well the mics performed. And most of the time, I didn't do anything to the sound. 90% of the time, I did nothing. A couple of times, I might have just kind of voice isolated a little bit if it was really, really windy. But I do tend to use stereo. Oh, what happened there? Oh, back again. All right, next one. Do you think they will add possibility to live stream on YouTube or Facebook? From Marek Bartos. Honestly, probably not. I think that's kind of like for what some of their bigger cameras that have better battery life. So I think, or replaceable batteries. So I think that's going to be the biggest issue. It's battery, that's the problem. That's going to be doing that, and I think it will kill people's batteries, and I think people won't be happy about that. So I think that they've just kind of like decided, let's just not do it because we're just going to have unhappy users. That to me seems like the big hurdle with making live stream to YouTube or Facebook. Who knows though? Like I don't make the units, I don't work for them, so who knows what they're thinking. But if I was thinking what they might be thinking, that's what I would be thinking, if that makes sense. Mila Stojic. Bought my Go 3 2 months ago, very happy with it, but now I feel devastated. Really, honestly, I hear you, but if you're happy with your Go 3, be happy with your Go 3. Just because there's another thing out doesn't mean that it's going to change the experience that you are having, which you're happy with, right? I've got an iPhone 13 mini. I got a 14 Pro, wasn't happy with it. I continually last after getting a 15 Pro Max. And I think about all the things it can do that my 13 mini can't do. But I'm really happy with my 13 mini. And I use it every day, and it doesn't disappoint me. So I would say, hey, just look, carry on with your Go 3. Think about your shooting style. Watch my video. Watch the end of the video. Do you really need 4K for your shooting style? If you are shooting kind of like landscape videos a lot, and then the 4K may be something that you're interested in. But I think the 2.7K, people have been, again, surprised when they see my videos on big screens that they look pretty good. They're all right. So, and that's why the title of my video was like, is it too much? I think for a lot of people, it might be. You know, a lot of people, yeah, they want the latest thing, and the 4K is really good. But do you actually really need it? And if you're happy with your Go 3, just wait a while and just keep going with it. I would encourage you to do that. Nabila, you watched all the videos that came out today. My God. Yeah, I only got up I was getting the kids ready to get out of the house with my wife, and my wife dropped them off. So, I've watched nothing because this all came out at 1 a.m. New Zealand time. So yeah, all of this, like, I'm not seeing anything. I'm not seeing anything that anybody has said about anything. I literally got the kids out of the house and made a cup of tea and came on here. So yeah, I'm blind. You've seen a lot more than I have, which is zero, apart from my own video. Here we go. Could you switch between the Go 3 and Go 3S and the Go 3 module and use both with the Go 3 case? Would it be possible to update? You can update just the module. Yes, you can. You can just buy the Go 3S module, and it will work with the Action Pod. I'm not sure whether the Go 3 will also work with the same Action Pod. I'm imagining yes, but it might be kind of like you might need to pair one with the other. I'm not really sure. Nobody's really tried that yet. Maybe somebody else has tried that. I haven't tried it. I haven't seen it, but then again, I haven't seen anybody. So theoretically, yes, and yes, you can upgrade just the camera unit. That might be the way to go for you. Yes, the interval filming will be useful for runners and anyone filming all day. Thank you for answering our questions. My pleasure. I am talking quite fast because I do see like a lot of comments here, and I don't want to be taking up all your time whilst you're waiting for questions. So I'm trying to rattle through them as quickly as I can. But thank you for that. Junard Blessed, can you record while charging using the new card reader of the Insta360? I don't know yet. I will. Hang on. Can you record while charging? I don't know if it's going to be designed for that, because I think it's kind of like supposed to slot into your phone. So unless you've got a way of kind of like pivoting your phone whilst you're doing that, I'm not sure. As far as I can see, the design of it is just kind of like the little kind of like USB-C or Lightning connector just kind of like sticks out. So yeah, I'm not sure whether it's designed for that or whether you can do it. I think probably not. I think what it's going to do is like it's just going to open your kind of like album when you plug it in. So yeah, I'm suspecting not. I might be wrong. Rico Salvador, hello from the Philippines. Can you take a photo using it? Yes, you can. You can do HDR photo. I don't know anybody who uses their Go 3 to take photos other than if they want to do interval photos to create like a high quality time lapse rather than using the inbuilt time lapse feature, because you can capture raw photos in order to kind of like sequence that in Lightroom or something like that afterwards. I don't know anybody who uses it for kind of like standard photos, because to be honest, if you've got a halfway modern cell phone, it's probably going to do a better job. I have used it when my phone battery has run out and I needed to get a photo. That has been the only time that I've used Insta360 GO photos. It's okay. They're okay. I wouldn't say they're a strength. I think it's very much a video camera as far as I use it. But yeah, good point. I didn't talk about photos at all. It's probably a reason. Although I do talk about star lapse, and I will do a star lapse with this Go 3S at some point. For the mount, I saw a video where they use the magnetic mount for the selfie stick. With the mount you get in the bundle, it looks pretty cool. Yeah, and that's exactly what I was going to be doing. I use that magnetic mount for the selfie stick with the pivot mount that you get, because that will it's got a 3.5 millimeter. Once you get the pivot stand off, it's got a 3.5 millimeter thread, so you can just stick that on top of that. You can have the magnetic clip sitting here on top of the selfie stick, and yeah, it will sit there quite nicely on that clip on your backpack or on your belt or wherever it is that you want to keep it. Can't personally see it on my belt. It's not something that I would find particularly comfortable. All right, next. You can attach it to a power bank with USB-C part. Are you talking about the quick reader? Because that would be interesting. You could do, but then I guess would it let you? I guess you could switch mode. Like maybe you can just use it as a normal camera whilst it's in that mode. Who knows? I'll see when I get it next week. Oh my gosh, I'm out of comments. Wow, that was pretty cool. So if anybody else is here has got any more questions, let me know. I will. You know about the affiliate links. You'll see a couple in the this is going to be useless for you. You won't be able to see copy this down. But yeah, if you want to support me and use one of my affiliate links, they're in the video description for this live stream as well. Okay, we got a couple more comments just quickly came in. Rico, do you have any other ideas of what phones it's compatible with? Because I think not all phones are compatible to it. Yeah, you're right. Not all phones are compatible with it. There's a long list. You'll have to go to the Insta360 website to figure out which ones. The compatibility issues tend to be more on the Android side of things because the way that Apple is set up, there's it's pretty strict kind of like guidelines about what people can and can't add to their kind of like software systems, but also their processes as well. There's a lot, Android is like a lot more varied. Everybody's got their kind of like own kind of like flavor of Android operating system, and there are many, many different kind of like chipsets and different configurations for phones that run Android. So yeah, I can't help you with that. You'll definitely have to check with Insta360 on the website there. Any suggestions for a car mount? Probably don't need it, but it would be nice. I usually use the clip and attach to my visor. Yeah, that's what I tend to do as well. There was one that I was using from Ulanzi, which was not bad. I think if you look on the Ulanzi website, there's quite a few kind of like that that you can stick to your dashboard. The only problem with those is that they kind of got that sticky pad with the glue, and they're not very removable. You have to kind of get a hairdryer and get it off, and then that one's destroyed. So yeah, I stopped kind of using those, and I just use the hat clip attached to the visor most of the time, to be honest. Sometimes I have used the pivot mount, the sticky pivot mount. I haven't used this one much to see how sticky the stickiness is on the pivot mount, but that would be my next kind of like choice. It would be using the pivot mount. Yeah, reflections. It's not normally a shot that I do, but it is nice to have an in-car shot every now and again, rather than it facing outwards, but facing back inwards towards me or the passengers. So yeah. Sometimes I have used, those little kind of like magnetic things that you can attach and they kind of like clip onto your fans, your kind of like duct system, and people stick their phones on them, with the MagSafe kind of like attachment. The Go 3 sits nicely on that. So if you want some more internal kind of like facing shots, that's a little workaround that I've used sometimes as well. Thank you so much, Milostoy. It's really happy with your videos. The best probably about the Go series. Thank you so much. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Please join the channel. Rico, thanks a lot for answering. My pleasure. It's always good to, with a little wink about the photos, I guess. Yeah, I know. It doesn't sound good. Don't need a sticky car. No. Yeah, it's a pain. My wife wasn't happy when I stuck it on there. She's like, "You're going to get rid of this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I still haven't got rid of it. I got rid of it in the other car, but not this one." Yeah. Yes, the air vent clip. Yeah, so if you got one of those MagSafe ones, they tend to work well. And what I have found is that actually if you lift the screen up, this bit will stick as well to a magnet like that, and you can have a little bit of feedback. You can see yourself and frame yourself up as well. So that's a nice little tip for the air vent clip as well. You have the one with the sucker mount. Yeah, you could do that and attach it to the window. Personally, I like having the complete visibility. Because with kids in the car as well, I need as much information as I can get and try not to be as distracted. So those things blocking my vision in the main front screen, I tend to not use those, just because they can be quite distracting or block my vision. Particularly, in New Zealand, we have very fast traveling single highways with no median barriers, so they can be quite hard places to drive. People are surprised when they come to New Zealand. So yeah, I try to kind of like keep the windscreens as clear as possible. But yeah, certainly that's another solution too. So we have, let me see. I have, oh my God, I have a weekend off. I'm actually not going to work this weekend. I thought about it, but I was like, no, not going to do that at all. I have a little bit of stuff that I need to finish off today, and then I'm actually just going to chill for the rest of the day. And at some point, deal with all the comments that will be coming in on the video. So that's my goal for today, is to deal with those comments. But otherwise, I'm just trying to kind of like rest after all the madness of the flu, recovering from the flu, and then putting in a 16-hour day to try and get this video done. It's actually more than 16 hours. I think it was more like 18, 19. It was just a crazy day. Things I do, eh? And yeah, also attach the dashboard. That's a good point. You can keep it out of the way of the windscreen. That's a good idea. All right, I think we're done. Unless there are any late questions, we've been going for like almost an hour. Let me know in the comments. Please like this live stream. It means a lot to me. It means other people will get to see it as well. Hasn't asked me anything. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you, Vanessa. Really appreciate it. Like I say, there's super chats available, channel memberships available, buy through my affiliate links. Anything that you can do to support me and my channel is very much appreciated. I'm going to wind it up there for today. Thank you so much, everyone. See ya. Catch you on the next live stream. They will come a little bit more regularly. Thank you, Nabila. Really appreciate it. Anybody else wants to say goodbye on the way out the door, let me know now. Chuck in a comment. We're going to be saying goodbye. I'm going to go and make a cup of tea because my coffee machine, could you believe it, blocked just before I was going to come here. So I can only get a cup of tea, decaf, cup of tea before a live stream. I'm surprised that I've made it this long on the amount of sleep that I got. See you, everybody. Have a great weekend. Laters.